Hello Commanders, Commander Plater here, and welcome to today's ZenCast. As normal, I have with me Proxim,
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
and today we are joined by Turjan Sandstone from the BroCast. If you thought you were getting away with that, you were wrong. Yeah, Turjan Starstone from the BroCast.
What, like I never do that to myself?
Yeah. No, good fun. Good fun. But yes, we are, of course, here, and we're going to be talking about a few things today, including crime and punishment. Nordic, no face cam today, just because there are so many of us, and I feel like I would be stealing the show if that were the case. That's me. That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I said. But no, we're working on a way to get both me and Oxy on screen at the same time, which is almost there. It will be happening, so that's a good thing. But yeah, we're talking about crime and punishment, and also at the same time we're doing a bit of a small ship / vulture combat thing, which is kind of what we're going to do to keep us busy whilst we're having a talk. But yeah, Turjan, thank you for coming along. It is appreciated.
It's good to be here.
It's I'm glad we were talking about this before the stream, where Turjan told us that actually, you know what, the BroCast isn't as organised as they come across, and it made me and Oxy feel a lot better.
I'm surprised that anybody thinks we're organised at all. We're obviously, got some cloud of deception going on there. That's working.
Now, are we going to head to the nearest Hazres?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, that normally works out. So, yeah, I guess before we kind of get into the real meat of stuff, not everyone's going to know who you are, Turjan, so why don't you tell people a bit about yourself? I mean, I imagine a lot of people will, but, you know, tell everyone who you are, what you do, what's your story.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the best thing to say really is if anybody wants to know what's in my mind, all I have to do is just watch my YouTube channel, because that is me. Essentially, that's it in a nutshell. But yeah, I make for the last, oh god, is it 2 years now? It must be nearly 2 years. I've been making
Getting there, yeah.
Story videos in Elite Dangerous. It started off on Distant Worlds, where I was actually making a few videos kind of justifying mistakes that Frontier had made, really, where you could find points of interest out 50,000 light years from home. It didn't make any logical sense. So I was making excuses for them in videos, in video form. And it became a sort of intellectual game just making those. And before I knew it, I'd started making an entire story series. And it's up to, what, 34 episodes now? With a running time of something like 360 minutes altogether. I tallied it up. God, terrible. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is. And when I'm not doing that, I'm with the BroCast lads on Sundays at 8 till 10 on Josh Hawkins' live stream.
Of course,
I could mention that I won the Control Alt Space competition.
You could, and you wouldn't be correct.
Because I've got that paint job on this ship, actually, at the moment.
Well, you just mentioned it, so
Yeah,
there you go.
I could mention that.
It was a very emotional video that you came up with, and
It was,
yeah,
yes,
it was very good.
It was. Yeah.
It was. I think everyone who entered was very much they all really wanted to win. I mean, I know I did, and
Oh, yeah.
it was the case of, actually, you know what? If you're going to lose to someone, that was probably like worth it.
There were so many good videos there. There really were, and I'm pleased. Anything I can do to sort of boost video makers and content creators, I get on board with, because this is just such a big stage we've got in this game, and in a way it's I find it good sometimes that it doesn't have stories on rails like you have at the start of the time, because it means you can make so much up yourself. You've got free reign to be creative, and you can do a lot with that. And there were a lot of good story videos in the Control Alt space.
Yeah, definitely were.
There were some good ones.
I must admit, some of the music video ones were spectacular.
Oh, yes, they were.
The Cobra one was obviously.
Oh, yeah,
that
you
one
can't
was
forget
good.
That one.
Yeah.
It sticks in your head forever. That one. Yeah.
Here's a question, Oxy. Where are you? I'm supposed to be in the same.
I'm in the nearest Hazres.
Because I engaged Wingman Navlock and currently.
Oh, I see your wing signal.
Oh dear. Right, I'm going to jump out and come back in again. I think it's going to be. It's a great start, instancing. Who would have thought, eh?
Well, there's a few other people that are already here too. I see Anariath, Vortex. They're both here. Someone else is here. I see a third triangle. Who is that?
Turjan's just got
Which one
interdicted. Classic.
Yes, typical. Right into the.
Oh, it's Phoenix.
That's interesting.
Phoenix is in a dolphin, in case you're wondering.
Of course he is. Oh dear.
That's weird. The interdiction took me through the rings, and the guy's disappeared now.
Oh, well, it works.
It just
I guess.
stopped the interdiction. I went through the rings. He obviously didn't. Okay. I do like, if I'm being interdicted at a star, just turning round so whoever it is crashes into the star. I like that.
Oh yeah, very satisfying.
Because they're all so keen. Oh, yes, I get you. Oh, I've crashed into a star. You're bad luck, mate.
Okay, and yep, we have got lots of people. Oh
Told
wow,
ya.
This is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yikes. But yeah, so we're going to talk about, I suppose, being interdicted. That kind of ties in nicely with the whole crime and punishment thing.
Yes, it does, yeah.
Now, wait, are we being attacked by...
I don't know.
Oxy, what you've attacked a dolphin.
Yeah, because he was wanted on my screen, so... Wanted, and he was already hostile, which means he had already shot me. Or you, one of the two.
I just arrived. Oh man, this is gonna be absolute. It's gonna be a mess. So yeah, the whole talking about crime and punishment, and there are some changes coming up in Beyond, and I mean, FDev have said they're going to be changes, but they haven't really decided what they're going to be yet, or at least I would assume so from the forum posts where they're just asking for ideas. A little bit of an odd one, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, they've kind of presented it like it's a done deal that they'll be going through that experiment, but is it? This is Frontier, you know. They change their minds every 5 minutes, so...
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're talking about the idea of whether or not we have ships where the bounties are tied to the ships, or the bounties are tied to the person. Except...
Yes.
Everyone I've spoken to doesn't seem too keen on that as an idea.
I've yet to find someone that thinks it's actually sensible, apart from the half a dozen people that posted on the thread going, yeah, I like that idea. But the rest of it, you think, hang on, 3303? 3303, and you have like a GTA system where you can just like... I mean, I always love that in the GTA games because they're kind of arcadey. You drive into the paint shop, with, you know, in your hot car, get a different paint job, and you just drive out there, and all the cops that were following you 5 seconds before are just walking around like, who was that? Where did he go? I can't see him anymore. And that's what they're kind of trying to introduce here, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Actually, no, I've had someone in chat saying that they like the idea, so that's good. I mean, it means we're not completely
good, fine.
You know, only representing one side. It's quite nice when other people do have different opinions. And I always say this: having a different opinion is fine. That's acceptable. You know, I'm not gonna.
The world would be a very boring place if everyone had the same opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, so Oxy, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm currently fighting Nuke and Phoenix because they're being a bunch of buttheads. So...
Oh, that's nice of them.
Well, you wanted crime and punishment.
Yeah, I mean, this is mainly crime taking place there.
Yeah, mostly crime. But yeah, I just find the whole thing crazy. Like I put in a post on the forum, you have a situation where you go, cops pull you over. They go, oh no, it's all right, officer. I left all my crimes in my other spaceship.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's perfectly all right, sir. You carry on. Have a nice day. I mean, 3303.
Yeah, it does certainly
You can't move, you can't dock at a station or do any kind of trade transaction without the entire galaxy knowing it's you, because everything's tagged to you. That's how the system works. Not your ship, you. You know, every time you dock somewhere, every mission you take, everything, they just greet you. Oh, hello, Commander such and such. Here's the mission board, specially for you. You know, and the only way around, the only way to have things tied to your ship and not you, is if there was some cloaking technology that prevented your ID from actually being clocked by the system, which would mean you could only deal with black markets when you docked, which would be an interesting mechanic, but you wouldn't get docking clearance to park in the first place, because they'd go, who's that? Who's asking for docking clearance? I can't see him.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work.
There are an awful lot of... I don't see it working the way that they want it to work. It doesn't seem logical to me, because, you know, if you commit a crime, say if you, you know, you were to be in a car crash, for example, you're responsible, not the car.
That's exactly it.
Especially if it's your actions that you've chosen to do something. Obviously, if you were to be in a, you know, something went wrong with your car and there's a technical fault, then yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit of a funny one to me that they would go that route, or even suggesting it.
It does seem bizarre.
Also, I think Nuke's annoyed that I killed him, or was involved in shooting him. I couldn't help
fine.
it.
That's
I couldn't
what
help
they
it. He was wanted. I'm a bounty hunter today. This is what I'm doing. But yeah, the whole changing ships and, you know, you're in a different system. The bounty that you've got doesn't matter already. So why do you have to be in a different ship? I don't know.
I wouldn't think really that switching ships would make a bounty or any kind of activity just disappear. I mean, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me.
No, there's no logic in it.
Like, I can see maybe for like certain gameplay reasons, possibly, but even then, like, with this kind of technology involved, that doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
I see. Vincent in chat is saying, but when I interdict someone, kill them within moments, drop out of Supercruise, and I jump before some security shows up, how did they know it was me? They just know it was a ship fitting my description. Well, that would explain why they may scan you, but then they would find out if you're wanted or not because you've attacked someone and committed a crime. And that's something they really need to fix with the crime and punishment thing, actually, is the number of times I have been interdicted by pirates. And it's not an issue, you know, it's typical. I'm in my Corvette, so it's a combat ship, and I can handle myself in a fight against an Anaconda, not an issue. But whenever the system security turn up, they scan me first, every damn time.
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing.
I'm the one that asked for help. You know, I'm the one that said, excuse me, I'm having a crime committed here, I need some assistance. It's like, if you're reporting, you know, you're being attacked to a policeman, they're right there in front of you, they're watching it happen, and they're like, are you sure it wasn't you? Like, no.
ID, please. Like, really?
Yeah.
You know, you work for the Pilots Federation, so we'll scan you first.
Yeah, you're obviously shifty, so too much free will, that's your problem.
That's the other thing, that's the other point, isn't it, about the whole crime thing. This is what I was saying, that I think it's a problem that Frontier probably didn't consider when they thought about the whole multiplayer aspect of this game. Because God bless them, they're lovely people, you know, devs, gamer geeks. They're not the kind of evil mindset of people that just consider griefing as a game mechanic. It doesn't occur to the Frontier guys, you know.
Yeah.
So they didn't think about the fact that everybody in the Pilots Federation they're part of a galactic gentleman's club, essentially, and the rules of that are you're not meant to go around shooting other people in your own club because it's bad form. Because essentially, everybody in the galaxy, if they want their dirty work done, they go to the Pilots Federation to get it done. You know, Empire, Federation, everybody. They all go, oh, let's get the Pilots Federation to do our dirty work for us. Now, if the Pilots Federation people are shooting each other, it makes the Pilots Federation look bad, and people will be less likely to hire them. So, in terms of pure law, the Pilots Federation would act immediately against people in their own ranks shooting each other, because it makes them look bad to the galaxy.
Yeah, and then the thing about the Pilots Federation is that it is kind of, when you stop and you think about it, is that it is supposed to be a club, and it isn't even a club for the best of the best, though, because we all start off in Sidewinders, you know, and we all start off with just
they have some
no
bizarre
money
entry requirements.
Yeah,
maybe that you family, or I don't know, maybe they just picked you in a competition, whatever. Anyway,
yeah,
once you're in it, that's it. You're in it.
And that's the thing that I find odd, is that there certainly should be some kind of, maybe, I don't know, perks of being a member of the Pilots Federation, and you can fall out of favour with them.
I think the perks essentially are you dock at a station, and that mission board is for everybody in the Pilots Federation. You know, not the ordinary Joes that trade, you know, synthetic meat for their entire lives, hauling it from station to station in a T7. No, we dock, we get a mission board that says, hello, Commander, it's nice to see you. Look at these missions, because you're a member of the Pilots Federation and we toady up to you. You know, so that's what we get, really. And if you think about it, if someone called that into disrepute, the Pilots Federation would be on your case in 5 minutes.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's why I like the idea of having the 4 horsemen of the Pilots Federation.
is that the ultimate response to
that's what I call them. You know, they're like unkillable NPCs, and the more crimes you commit against another commander, or other commanders in general, the more of the 4 horsemen you get on your tail, until you've got a full wing of 4 of them. And they're unkillable bounty hunters that'll just follow you across the entire galaxy. But if you choose to, you could stock at a station, talk to the local Pilots Federation rep, and pay to get them off your case, because, you know, it's a tax. It's a tax to get them off your case. But you wouldn't be paying a fixed fee. This is where I think Frontier should really do something logical in this, because Sandy said in that thread, you'll be paying an exorbitant price to get a standard bounty off you. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, and I said in the thread, but there are always players out there that have an exorbitant bank balance, so it's not going to matter to recidivist criminals that you're doing that. But what the Pilots Federation could do, especially for crimes against commanders, is not have you pay a fixed fee, but pay a percentage of your total assets. That way it would be the same for all commanders. You say by like 2-3% or whatever. Every commander would pay 2-3%. But if you've got billions, you're going to pay a lot more numerically. So that would be more of a disincentive. And let's face it, as I said, if all of the missions you get at the station are because you're a member of the Pilots Federation, all of your assets are as a result of being a member of the Pilots Federation. So they could just take them off you.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But I always think you've got to think of the uproar. Sorry, Oxy. I say you just got to think of the uproar if someone were to have money taken away from them. Because when FDev takes things away, that's a different story, isn't it?
Well, that's why I thought the other thing that you can do is you treat criminals the same as we treat them in real life, and you take away the one thing that we do in real life, and that's time. You take away their time. And the way you could do that in the game is by having things respond quickly, like ever more quickly. The higher the bounty on you, the more and more often you get a response, so that literally you come into a system and within seconds If someone's interdicting you and then interdicting you and it's an endless series of interdictions till you get to the station, and then the station might scan you, and you've got like 5 seconds to dock before they shoot you if you're really that bad a criminal. So you're fining people time because you're interfering with their game because they're a criminal.
Yeah, that'd be a very frustrating experience.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's the gist.
Yeah, I mean, then if there was a way to get rid of it and it was very expensive,
well,
then you'd
pay it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it should be a case of percentage of income rather than fixed fee.
Yeah. Yeah. Could go for that. Now, who's throwing missiles at me? Man, guys, everyone knows I don't PvP. Why you make me do this? One thing that Sandy was saying about the crime and punishment, and something they were thinking of doing, was quite similar to GTA, in the fact that like the star system, like how wanted you are, indicates the level of the response that you get. And he suggested that might be a good idea. And you get to the point where you have no choice but to run away, because otherwise you're in all kinds of trouble. And you get to that certain point, you have to literally leave the system. You've got no choice, you're in trouble, you can't hang around anymore. But I feel like the escalation actually isn't going to be as quick as they would possibly want. I just don't see it happening. Very difficult to execute, I imagine.
Well, we've seen in the past that it's easy for them to make invincible NPCs, because we all remember the infamous patch where they beefed up the AI and everyone was looking at a rebuy screen every 5 minutes. They can do that.
Yeah.
Now, whether they can do that selectively is another thing, where only some of the AI are crazy. If they did, they should have it as Pilots Federation bounty hunters, NPCs.
Because that is a weird thing that, only Pilots Federation people are human. There needs to be a little something
are we?
Different. Some
Arguably.
Some of us are partially Thargoid, apparently. But,
conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
No, you see, I reckon we're all actually Matrix style. We're all plugged into a supercomputer on Founders World in Shinrata, and we're all actually telepresence. Nobody's real.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We have
everyone just treats us as if we are, because they're told to.
Yeah.
It's the Pilots Federation. He thinks he's real.
Why do you think he never gets off his ship?
Exactly. He thinks he's real.
Someone say in chat there. How about withholding tax, like a security deposit, or a percentage of your income? They get returned to you once you're crime free. That would be. I feel like that'd be quite a difficult one to achieve.
Yeah, I would think it would on the face of it, but is that just a sort of coding numbers thing? Is that something that could keep itself going automatically? I don't know. I'm not a coder.
Yeah, me neither. So maybe it's really easy. Who knows? Sniper Snowy in chat. Yeah, it does. So you should be good. If you're after some cash funds, then yes, running reasonably long range passenger missions are your thing to go to. But that is also an issue with, like, money is typically a problem in Elite Dangerous as well. There's either too much of it or not enough. And there's never any...
I haven't found a good balance between the two.
Yeah, missions don't pay enough. Everything else pays too much. And when it gets spotted or reported by someone on the forum, then they're like, oh, this is you can't have this, let's report it. And it's like, great, and it gets patched. Which is I guess, almost tied in with crime and punishment, because if you can make, as you said earlier, huge quantities of credit, so you've got lots and lots of money, then where's the problem with anything people do to you? There's
exactly nothing. That's the thing.
Am I mad? Do we want to fully discourage crime, though? Like, at the same time, it needs to be rewarding and have a reason to commit crimes other than griefing. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's supposed to be able to... I mean, this crime... People who say crime doesn't pay are often the victims of crime. You know, there's plenty of wealthy criminals out there, I'm sure.
Well, I suppose ultimately it comes down to crimes against people and crimes against NPCs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it needs to differentiate between the two a little bit more.
Yeah, when Frontier are talking about crime, I think they're thinking mostly about crimes against commanders. And as I say, that they have a tailor-made in-game mechanic to do that, because every player is a member of the Pilots Federation, so they are special automatically. So you can have special crime rules just for players, because they're players. And you wouldn't expect the Four Horsemen of the Pilots Federation to go after the local pirate lord who's an NPC, because he's not a member of the Pilots Federation.
Yeah. Yeah. That does seem to be the only real issue. The only time that there's an issue with crime particularly being imbalanced is when it is players and griefing. That seems to be the only time that it comes up as an issue. And it's...
Well, I mean, yeah, like I say, imagine any sort of club, whether it's sports club, golf club, any of these sort of hoi polloi clubs, you know, hey, Rolly Good, yeah, splendid fellow, played around of golf with him the other week, yeah, those kind of clubs. That's kind of what the Pilots Federation is. Now, can you imagine if they heard that, you know, people were actually assaulting each other on the premises, club members? Well, it's just terrible. You can't be a member of our club if you're beating each other up in the locker room. That's disgusting. You know, they'd kick you out.
I mean, but that said, I mean, it depends where the locker room is.
I don't care what you do out there in the street. You can beat up as many plebs as you want. They don't count. They're not club members, you see. That's really what it comes down to. Pilots Federation don't care what you do to people who aren't members of the Pilots Federation.
Well, yeah, that is true. I mean, that's why you get the Pirate Federation.
That's why we get offered all these dodgy missions on the mission boards. This is illegal. Kill this guy. Go and steal this. You know.
Yeah, this might be illegal. Do it anyway.
Yeah, they're cool with that, Pilots Federation.
I mean, something that I've always said is that, I mean, the value placed on a life in Elite Dangerous is typically about 5,000 to 6,000.
Yeah.
It's not much.
It's like I mean, how much is 5,000? Like in real day money? Obviously, it's near impossible to work out, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. You know, I mean, I guess let's say an SRV. That's what. How much is that to equip one of them? I mean, and that's just
you're talking about being able to buy like a ton of meat for 5 or 6 credits. So, you know, there's no real basis. But yeah, if you equate it in terms of cars, if these are like expensive cars and dirt cheap cars, second-hand cars, yeah, it's not that much. It's not that much. It's less than buying a second-hand car from your local newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yay! With so many people around, it's difficult to work out who's getting bounties here, or who's actually wanted and who's not. Confusing. And here's the thing as well. If you know how typically if you commit, this is most places, if you were to aggressively attack a member of the law, and you were to kill them, typically the punishment would be a lot harder, because it's a public servant, someone who is essentially risking their lives to protect people. But in Elite Dangerous, you're murdering them like there's no tomorrow, and it's okay. You get paid more to kill them during conflict zones as well, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like I could be overthinking this. Now, Simon Mills, you say all money is based on gold. On Earth, yes. But...
not true, actually. U.S. currency has not been based in gold for quite some time.
Is it not all done on... well, isn't it all secured with gold in the World Bank? And that's why you have Fort Knox. Because it's where the bullion is stored.
Not U.S. currency.
What?
U.S. currency moved away from gold base a while back.
So what is it now?
Yeah.
It's literally worth whatever the economy says it's worth.
But to the rest of the world, that means nothing.
Bit of a recipe for disaster, that. Self-referencing.
Well, why do you think it's such a disaster?
You know, what would make you think that with the president there at the moment? Yeah, it's crazy. I must be mad.
No, it's based on oil. Bottle caps. What have we got in chat?
But
yeah,
caps,
oil.
yeah.
Oh, US currency is based on oil. There you go. Okay. Was that collector limpet failed? What?
I heard repair limpet.
Oh, repair limpet. Who's?
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh.
Yeah.
How did we all hear that? Who was that fired at?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
We all heard it. They have...
I can see it, but I'm not sure which direction it's going. Is it coming straight at me?
Weird.
Obviously,
yeah, it's coming straight at me.
The scream of desperation of a dying limpet carries a long distance.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, says the limpet.
I'm being repaired in the field.
It's like as it misses its target. Father, I'm sorry.
I have failed you. Gazpacho.
I know, I'm being repaired though, so whoever it is, I think, is it you, Caleb? I think it's you. Most appreciated, sir.
See, Pro Rock has now turned up in his Corvette. That is not a vulture.
Yeah, Caleb's here in his vet too, but he's repairing me, so I'll give him a pass.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need to be repaired, so I don't know if that's why we're hearing it fail. And wait, who's attacking Pro Rock? Who's attacking him? Which one of us?
Not me.
He's just gone purple.
No, I've just got the usual burned out modules that you get when you're flying a vulture and shooting things.
Do we kill anything not a vulture? That sounds interesting, but I'm seeing obviously 2 Corvettes, and I don't know if that's going to be doable.
Well, Caleb is the one that's hitting me with the repair limpets right now, so I think he's okay. He's doing me a favor right now.
See, Nuke's telling us not to touch his wingmates. Alright, well I think Graham Wisely is my target. Yeah, here he is. Now, actually that's a good point, like the whole economy ties into this a lot as well in Elite Dangerous. I feel like there isn't any. You know, that there is no worth to credits apart from, I guess, time. Time is what they're balanced against to a certain point, but for lots of people it's not. So I always see it that if I'm going to do an activity in Elite Dangerous, typically it's can I make credits from it, and that's if I want to make credits at that time, because sometimes I'll be doing things that don't involve any credits whatsoever and there's no reward. And that's okay, because some things you've got to do something a little bit shady here and there. But, yeah, I don't know, it's a funny one. I do think it is a funny one with the whole economy thing. It doesn't balance out at all. And some people have said if we had a player-based economy, then that'd be better. But I kind of think it'd be worse. Because then, you know, inflation.
Alright, I am full up on hull again.
Now, see, This chat in local is worrying me a lot. I feel like stuff is going to go wrong very quick. Oh dear.
There.
Thank you all. So, player economy, yes or no? Is that something that we need?
It's already kind of player run, not to the extent
not.
that.
Absolutely not, right?
To the extent of Eve, no, absolutely not.
Well, I mean, I say the thing, like we were just saying earlier, the thing that makes Elite unique is the Pilots Federation. The whole concept of having this elite group of pilots that do jobs. And that means that we're not corporate sharks, we're not wheeler dealers, we don't have turf, you know? We're just mercenaries, jobbing mercenaries.
Yeah,
so we shouldn't have a player-run economy.
Yeah, I guess we shouldn't, because we are. I guess we're more users than organisers. I guess you might say when it comes to. We're just a group of individuals, not an organised group as such for the Pilots Federation. But yeah, definitely. One thing I do want to say: the whole people buying credits with real money is a massive no-no. That's something that can never ever happen. It needs to be completely.
Yeah, definitely not.
Completely avoided.
And Pro Rock, if you can hear me, get rid of your fighter before I do it for you.
Threats have been made. Oh, there it goes. Was that you, Oxy?
Yeah, I killed it. I killed it. Because it was attacking me, then it attacked you, so I just killed it.
Yeah, it had a pop at me as well. Crazy guy. That was a crime, you see.
That was a crime.
Crazy NPC.
There you go. Here we have an example of crime. Now, as players, why can't we invest credits into local economies to build better infrastructure in game? Interesting. I would quite like it if there was a possibility of doing that, but the only issue with that is that credits are unlimited, and they come from nowhere. Like, just because I have 4.5 billion credits worth of assets, he says, "Ha, so much money," doesn't mean that someone else can't have essentially something. So there's typically, if we're talking economy, there is a finite amount of resources, and as resources run low, things increase in value, and that's how we have the whole concept of commodities. But there isn't that. That's why everything is at a fixed price. You know, you go, a Corvette costs the same as a Corvette has always cost. That's it. There's never any change in price because they run out. Yeah, sure, certain places have discounts, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is the one thing that makes any one of these game economies different from the real world. You never have inflation. It's not like, oh, I remember when I could buy a laser for 100 credits and now it's 50,000. Oh, never happens.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of does if you read like the old books and stuff like that. They talk about like beam lasers and things for 150 credits. And I'm like, 150 credits? What?
So it happens behind the scenes when we're not looking.
Something like that.
Inflation.
That sounds just like inflation, actually.
Yeah, they don't tell you about it. You just go, what happened?
You just go and be like, how much?
Grocery shrink rate as well. Go along with that.
Yeah. There we go. It's a very... That's one of the things that I like about Elite Dangerous, is that you don't find yourself like, oh, I'm saving up for this, and then when you finally get there, you're like, oh, the price has changed. Or there's none of that, which is quite nice.
Yeah, there is a certain measure of predictability as far as the economics goes, which is nice.
One thing that would absolutely drive me insane, though, is if there was an auction house. That's something I do not want. I do not want people selling things between each other at prices they choose. If there was an option for you to, instead of selling your old ship back to the shipyard for a minus 10% credits, you were to be able to sell it on to other players at a minus 10%, for example, just to support individual, like, I guess, player-driven upgrades, that'd be okay.
Well, if we had the kind of wear and tear thing that the model at Frontier had originally anticipated, you could have like a second-hand ship market of beaten up rubbish ships that are like, they need a lot of repair work done on them, that someone sold because they can't be bothered to repair them.
Yeah.
But again, it's one that they chose not to implement because it was a bit too fiddly. Like the different qualities of gas giants for scooping fuel and things like that. That would have been fun, but a nightmare to implement.
Oh, lag spike. That's not great. Dodgy Dave's second-hand ship emporium. Perfect. I'd go for that.
Yeah. I mean, in Elite 2, that's essentially what they were. You looked in the shipyard and there were a lot of second-hand ships there that had strange paint jobs and weird random equipment on board.
Just, that would work. I feel like if you were to buy something, it'd be slightly cheaper. Not good. But then I feel like engineering would stop people from doing that. Because if you could engineer a laser and then when you sell it, hey guys, do you want to buy my my grade 5 overcharged laser? It's got a good roll on. It's... How can you choose who buys that? You get into that kind of territory. Unless engineering components don't go across, but then... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a difficult one. I guess this is why they haven't done it.
Whoa.
Oh,
almost a $500,000 for that one.
That was nice. That was good.
Yeah. Good lord.
Oh, okay. Everyone's making the same mistakes with the attacking before you've done your scan. Don't do that.
Well, not that I do much combat, but I'm always incredibly careful about that because that's one of the few times I've lost a ship thanks to NPCs that appeared to be wanted, having I opened fire on them and was flagged as wanted, and the cops blew me away before I could move. And it says wanted, but unless you've actually properly scanned them, then yeah. So it's one of those things, you make the mistake once, and if you lose a ship, you never do it again.
Yeah. Buying engineered components with in-game credits from other players might be a good thing, provides motivation. I mean, but how much would you... could you put a credit value on that?
Well, I think the only sensible way to do it would be like so many games that have in-game currencies, and that's one that is separate from the main standard currency that everybody uses. So here, I suppose what we'd have would be some sort of Pilots Federation credit that's different from a standard galactic credit. And a sort of merit or credit system that only Pilots Federation members could use and buy from a special shop, that kind of thing. We are supposed to be exclusive people anyway, so... Yeah,
we don't really have much in the way of special anything, do we?
But I mean, the thing about the Pilots Federation is that they wouldn't have craftsmen making things because everybody else does things for the Pilots Federation. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's why we go to engineers. Yeah, they ask stupid things. Bring me 50 tons of cigars. I've got a bit of a cigar problem. But then they do things for us. They fiddle with our engines for us. Yeah.
Makes sense. Not money. We don't want money. No, 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 no. So how do you make
money
a living?
is superfluous.
Like,
Weird.
How do you make a living? I don't.
Do they sell the things that we
resell? Yeah, that's right. It's like quest givers in Warcraft, you know. You should stand there holding a little thing over your head, a little exclamation mark over your head, and people just give you money.
Yeah, that would do.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, 50 tons of rare cigars, like they're not selling them somewhere else. Oh, come on.
It's like, actually, what
No, I smoked them all myself. It's for personal consumption. Yeah.
What about that conga ale that just Jameson wants? Like 25 tons of ale. It's like that must be some killer swinger parties she's got going on.
Well, she probably has to pay for all the liver transplants that goes with it.
Yeah. It's like, how many clone bodies has she gone through so far? It's like, in a word, a lot.
No, they just jump 200-300 light years away and resell them all. That's what they do.
It'd be easier to ask just for money, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You'd think so, yeah. But you see, they're mavericks. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The definition of maverick. You're a crazy person. Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it. I'm going to suggest that we go over to the next Hazres.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Just because it's getting a little bit, well, empty.
It's a little thin here.
Plenty to shoot at, but nothing that you'd want to shoot at.
Not right offhand, anyway.
Thankfully, it's nice and close by.
0.28 light seconds.
Yeah. Man, these Hazreses. We got some memories. Got some memories.
The 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
Oh, the new net's killing.
Yeah. People keep asking me about doing a new one, and or doing another 24-hour stream, and I keep saying this next year. I just need some time to recover. Still, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready for the PTSD of the 24-hour stream. Like, yeah.
It wasn't that bad. I did one in August. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, I was tired, but.
Well, I thought I joined you for the last couple of hours, wasn't it? As well, and that one. You were holding up pretty well, I thought.
I mean, I really lulled about the 5 AM mark, and I started slurring my speech and stuff because I was so tired. And that's when I realised that maybe I was going to have some issues. But once it was daylight again, and I had a bite to eat and a coffee, I was good to go.
Yeah.
I drank coffee, guys. I know it's quite an impressive thing.
You don't drink tea, so...
No, I don't drink tea.
Yeah, fake Brit.
Yeah, fake.
We know.
Yeah. How can I not be radionuclear powered? No, that's unfortunately not the way it works.
Are you sure? I thought it was.
I really wish that it was. It's not. I don't even glow, which is super disappointing.
Aw.
But I guess there's some positives to that, because if you're glowing and you're radioactive, then you have got some serious issues. Like, it is bad. It's, it's wrong. But the whole crime and punishment thing, it does need a huge overhaul. And I do say overhaul, not just improvements. I think it just needs going at from the very beginning and really back to basics on it. Just taking what we've got at the moment isn't enough. We are going to need a completely fresh start to make it work. Oh no. Federal agents.
Ah! Go away, you.
Oh, Oxy.
It's because I shot Nuke after he shot me, and it counted me as doing the wrong thing for some reason.
Oh, I'm just gonna move away from them.
What was that you were just saying about it needs an overhaul?
Exactly that. Exactly that. There's certain things that need a complete start, and I think they weren't expecting people to be as, I guess, devious
Well, that's what I mean.
Should have figured that out by now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is something that I actually like about Frontier. The fact that they don't spot devious things, because it means that they're nice guys. You know, they're good guys, enthusiastic guys. They love the game. They're always working on the game. They're not devious, greedy, money grabbing. You know, they're nice guys.
Yeah.
I would almost prefer them to have a small bit of devious to them, so they would catch stuff like this.
It's the everyone at Frontier is really great and nice, apart from Greg. No one likes Greg, and he's the one coming up with the emergent content. Yeah, it's like he's the one. That'd be great. A player bounty board would be great. I don't know about a player bounty board, because technically there is one. It's called Seeing Other Commanders, typically in open.
Well, again, I wouldn't be opposed to that, because that is the kind of thing that the Pilots Federation would endorse. If they want, if someone's really becoming a nuisance and getting bad press for them, they'd say to the rest of the club members, "Go and sort that fellow out, would you?" You know, so it would be consistent with the law.
Yeah. Or even a series of, and this could be actually generated missions where you get like a message saying, please eliminate this commander for us, and it tells you where they are, and you essentially do a bit of a breadcrumb chase for them, and you go from system to system until you catch up with them, and then it's Harry Potter, and you get killed because he has lots of friends with him. Problem solved. You know, that would but that could potentially work for those higher end PvP players who are after something to do. That would be amazing for them, and that would be a great...
It'd keep them busy.
Yeah. Turjan in there with the final kill. Well done. Landing the killing blow.
What, kicking a fellow when he's down? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that works.
I'll do that.
It works. It's fine.
If it works, yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Not silly if it works.
Or actually putting bounties on people's heads. That's a suggestion from Budman in chat, saying that Oxy killed me, so I put a 2 million bounty on his head.
That was something that they entertained the idea of quite a long time ago, wasn't it? It was one of their mooted ideas long ago. But I think the argument with that was that people would actually use it as a way of gaining money.
Oh no, heaven forbid people should try and make money in the Oh, come on.
Oh, feds. I nearly shot that fed. No, you're not my enemy. I don't like the feds, but I'm not shooting them.
It's, once again, we're at the... what have we got to shoot? What's this?
And also, is death really the only punishment that they can come up with? Like, this is a 400 credit bounty that they're trying to do right now, and there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What if you actually had a system? I mean, if in Frontier 2, you could bribe cops. If you had a fine that you'd picked up, you know, you could attempt to bribe the cop on the bulletin board. Just pay them, you know, less than the fine was worth, but it would go straight in the cop's pocket. And if you're lucky, the guy would just take it, and that would be it. End to it. Some of them were actually good cops and said, "Oh no, bribing a police officer," so it sort of went up. So it was always a gamble whether you could get away with it. But you could have a similar thing in this one, where the cops would, you know, get me like a ton of cigars or conger ale or something, you know. "Oh, I'm rather partial to that conger ale, sir. If you were to slip me a ton of that stuff, I'm sure that crime would just go down the back of the cabinet. No one would ever see it, sir." That would work. I'd like that.
Yeah. A mechanic in which, like, I tell you what, we can let this slide if. That would be...
that's get me some of them conventual sweets. I like them, made by the monks, you know. Get me a ton of them, sir.
Do you know what I really like? No, what do you really like? I want some Sutil relics. I was like, what? Why do you want them?
The wife's been bugging me for ages for one of them.
Yeah.
Ooh, get us one of them.
Yeah, why can't like engineers work for those things? Why can't the cops?
The kid wants a leathery egg for Christmas. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
All right, I'll get you a leathery egg. Yeah, meet me back here at X time with the leathery egg, or I'm going to have to file that report, ain't I?
So which planet are we meeting at? LV-426? Are you sure? Okay then. Obviously you wouldn't get that.
No.
No, it's an Aliens reference.
Well, which Aliens movie are you talking about?
I was very clear. I said Aliens, not Aliens.
So the second one.
Yeah.
See,
you do need to.
That distinction that means nothing to me.
It's like I always think that if you had I don't know if you guys have seen on the interwebs, they've done a if other films were named the same way as Fast and Furious franchise, and it's like you have like Star Wars 2, Stars or Warser and stuff like that, and it's just like what? It's like 2 stars, 2 wars and stuff like that. It's like what? Oh, who rammed me?
Wasn't me.
But yeah, they did with Stranger Things, and they're like Stranger Things 2, Stranger 2 Things. It was just awful, absolutely awful. Now, if I actually engineered these advanced plasma accelerators, I would be on for I'd be do so much better. I would say
Efficient 5.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, I am going to go back to Tanner City.
Oh my gosh, wait.
Ooh, what was up with that guy?
This wouldn't blow up.
He was just spinning in a weird way. I like that. It was like one of his engines had gone.
Well, that's actually something that the NPCs used to do. Is they just used to spin. That was one of their old AIs. It's like
spinning.
It's like evasive pattern Delta 3. No.
Yeah, I mean, when you consider that most ships do have at least 2 thrusters sticking off the back, it would be cool if one of them went out and they were flying in circles.
Oh, I've drawn a little bit of heat here from the old.
Yeah, the feds are having a pop at us.
Yeah.
It's like they know we're friends with a recidivist criminal.
Shh! I am no such thing.
I'm actually not wanted right now, which is a bit of an odd one for the last month or so. I have been quite heavily. So. Oh yeah, Turjan, we've I've made an official inquiry into being our Seekers of Zen faction if we eventually make it into the game.
Oh right.
Which we're going to be formal allies with Starstone Industries.
Mm.
Well, I asked Shibuka. He said yeah. I mean, you might after this stream turn around and be like, no, not those guys, they're idiots. I want nothing to do with them.
I think Black Lance Mercenaries, I can probably add them to the list too.
I think anything with Zen in the name would probably appeal to Gwydion Starstone, so that's alright.
Okay. I was gonna wait until the faction made it in-game, but the faction's name will probably end up being Ployd.
Wait, what? The faction name?
Yep.
Why?
Because trying to fit the Ployd reference in the description without it actually being the faction's name actually would have hurt our chances.
No.
So,
no.
Yep.
No. Oxy, why wouldn't you have told me this earlier? Because we're supposed to be the Seekers of Zen.
Yeah, there's a Zen reference in the description.
Oh, fight! It's going to kick off. Let's have it, you two. Yeah.
What? No. What? So we're not going to be called the Seekers of Zen?
Probably not. He'll probably end up being employed.
Wait.
Unless, because
Did you put the name down?
I spoke with him briefly to tell him what was going on. So he said he'd have to read it once he gets to it and make a decision.
Did I have that running?
So they're gonna...
Probably not.
They could turn around and say...
I did have that running. I thought I had the soundboard running, yeah.
So they could genuinely turn around and say, sorry guys, we don't want that to be your name.
Yeah. If it doesn't, if the name or description or anything doesn't fit in some way, they will turn you down.
Or something like that. I mean, mine is actually, our faction is Starstone Enterprises.
Oh, Enterprises, I'm sorry.
Because it's a wholly owned subsidiary of Starstone Industries.
Right.
That's the thing. So it is separate. I mean, not that it matters, but just in case, you know, for the sake of the stories that I write and what's going on in the game, it has to have a bit of leeway between the two, just in case, you know.
Yeah, it's very, very specific. So I'm waiting on Brett to make his decision on that one. Well, it's up to him.
They never said that to me. I made that choice, really, because we actually had a poll to see what would be, you know, what the BroCast faction would be called, what people would want it to be called. And for some reason, people wanted the Starstone option. So rather than being Industries, I settled for Enterprises.
All right.
But Oxy, you've just rocked my world, not in a good way.
Well, sorry. This stuff is not easy to do.
Is there a divorce? Am I here for the divorce?
Because what we're going for is the term "ployed," which is obviously one of my nicknames that I was dubbed. Actually, Oxy, did you come up with that?
Yeah, that was me. I think. Well, how did that start? Thargoid and Plater.
Yeah, and it became ployed. Logically. Oh my god, why is the station purple? What the hell? Did you just get
It should be going. Yeah, it should be going back to green just now.
It's green now. Yeah.
That was terrifying.
That was me suicide winding to get rid of this stupid 400 credit bounty.
I'm going to cut my speed under 100, just in case. You know, I don't like stations flashing different colours.
All right, we'll get the vulture back out.
Which I have to say, it's hard now in VR, because when I first started in trying to dock and land in VR, it was like, it's all so fast. You know, 100 was like crazy fast, but now it's like slow. You go to 100 and you go, oh, this is slow because it's so big.
Damn. Almost got you.
Well.
Oh, that's a fine for reckless flying. Never mind. That's okay. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
No.
Yeah. See, Giz isn't sure if he wants to work for Ployd. Because the whole Ployd thing, that it was going to be an acronym that was going to become the present leader of independent dictatorship. You see,
yeah,
which makes sense.
All clear. Hope to see you again, Commander.
Oh, there's going to be. Ooh.
Yeah, it's very picky. I'm waiting. He said he'll have to look at the application and make a decision on it.
It's all right. Mummy and Daddy both still love you. We do argue from time to time, but
it's like if it's not our choice, but where it said, "What is the name of your faction? What do you want it to be?" There was an option to put the name, right?
Yeah, this is the advantage of you know, being able, you know, having an open dialogue with the person who processes the application.
So in there we put Seekers of ZEN, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what's in there. I talked to him and asked him, you know, is this going to work? He said maybe.
Okay. Well.
But Frontiers say that to everything. It doesn't mean yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He said maybe, that he'll have to look at the actual application. Yada yada yada. So we will see. We will see. I told him the other option would be Ployd, because that's the only other way that we can do it.
It's like, and why everyone could be agents of Ployd.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, you need a better name for that. Yeah, we do. Ployd. Done.
See, Kiro's got the right idea. Long live the
Yeah.
Kiro, I like how you think, sir.
Oh, actually, have you got your wing beacon on, Oxy?
It should be. Let me check just to make sure. Let me... Yeah, there we go. I just toggled it for you, so it should be good to go. Just in case, because I'm about to drop in right now. Kiro.
Might have to go and run guns and landmines for Starstone Enterprises and creepy Uncle Gwydion.
Yes.
Do it.
Creepy uncle.
Yeah, he's just misunderstood. He's Turjan's uncle. I swear he's just misunderstood. Don't worry about
Just misunderstood. Yeah.
I don't know. He seems awfully...
Creepy?
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to find a better way to word it, but that works too.
That's about it. You know, it's the head of a galactic megacorporation. What do you expect? You find one that isn't like that.
I haven't encountered many
Heads of galactic megacorporations.
I mean,
No.
technically, anyone who is currently the head of a corporation on Earth is head of a galactic corporation because.
Yeah. Now, unless you're sort of Elon Musk, they're all a bit creepy.
Is Richard Branson creepy?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's Richard Branson?
Who's Richard Branson? Did you say?
Yeah.
He's the guy that owns Virgin. Oh yeah, good point. Immediately good point. Having seen all their advertising and stuff, yeah.
See, I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, but he's the guy that owns lots of things. All the things.
Well,
Not all of them, some of them. But boy does he own them. He owns the hell out.
But I doubt you'd find Gwydion Starstone toasting s'mores round a fire on the beach like Elon Musk would. So, not that kind of CEO.
No, see, I quite like Elon Musk. He seems like a reasonably good guy.
He's good. He's a good guy.
I like him.
He simply just wants to advance the human race. Which is good. You know, why wouldn't we want that?
Yeah.
Now, on the topic of really bizarre stuff happening, and people, you know, being on other planets, this is a real tenuous link, by the way. I've been playing a lot this week of Wolfenstein 2, and I have just flown to Venus, which is super bizarre. Because
what?
Yeah, I know, right? Because as we know, the Nazi space program was particularly developed, and they have settled on Venus, and I've met the Grand Leader himself, and it's really bizarre that they'd be like, yeah, you're going to Venus. I was like, Venus? I'm going to... It's set like 50 odd years ago. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
How?
How? Yeah, that's the whole
I'm
thing.
confused.
But you know, obviously, it's all complete fiction and fantasy, more fantasy than fiction, I guess. But very bizarre when they went, yeah, you're going to Venus. It's like, right. But yeah, that was my interesting little jump in there. So apparently that's Machine Games' idea. If Nazis had won World War II and had advanced technology-wise, they would have gone to Venus, apparently.
Why Venus?
I don't know.
That seems even more far-fetched than Mars.
Yeah. That's a Federal agent. Ooh, that's a Federal agent. That's a Federal agent.
That's Vortex.
Lots of Federal agents around here, guys.
I know.
Oh, there's one. Savage Hell! The Diamondback Scout.
Yep. It's that. Some people say Marcus tries too hard. If you can't read it on stream, this guy's name is Marcus Spate. Just so you know. That's a solid paint job there, Turjan.
That, yes.
It reminds me of that kind of Decepticon Transformer colour scheme.
Yes, it does have that sort of 80s feel about it.
Yeah.
That's the Gamescom one, people.
Very nice. Very nice.
And a couple of Halloween decals.
Mine's just plain black. Nothing special here.
I decided to treat myself to green weapon and engine detailing. That was my...
I can tell the green actually looks pretty nice on the engine detail.
Oh, obviously, I haven't seen it. Oh, yeah.
It's very Christmassy.
Oh,
It is, yeah. Christmassy.
I can't endorse anything Christmas until December, I'm afraid.
True,
I
unlike the
usually-
shops that have decorations in before Halloween. And you go, stop it! For God's sake, stop it! Let me enjoy Halloween first.
Yeah.
I know. I usually complain until Thanksgiving is over. Then it's fine. Like Black Friday here shows up. Okay, you're fine. We're good.
Yeah. 1st of December, that should be a law. No Christmas before the 1st of December.
Oh, just encountered someone whose last name is Chekhov. Well done. Well done. It's named by a Star Trek fan.
What is Sky?
Sky Chekhov, yeah.
I know the CZ there. Are you sure?
What?
CZ at the beginning of his name.
Yeah, that's how you'd say it. Definitely how you'd say it.
You sure?
Sure. Like Czechoslovakia. Or Czech Republic.
Yeah.
That is how it's spelled.
Okay, sure.
Turjan, right? I need to
That
back
is,
up.
yep.
Good.
That's exactly how you say it.
There you go. Obviously not Czechoslovakia, that's racist anymore.
Boom. Yeah, that's right. They had an amicable breakup, but we never found out what happened to O. You've got the Czech Republic, you've got Slovakia. What happened to O? The small country of O.
Yeah. It's probably they don't talk about it.
That's why they broke up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Fertilance over here, Plater.
Oh, I've got a Conda.
Alright, well, I'll piss off the Fertilance so it'll follow me.
Okay. Oh.
And then we'll go kill the Conda.
Just gonna ram the Conda then. Oh yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm in the wrong ship for this.
Yep. You're not in the Corvette anymore.
Yeah. Oh, see, Anaraith has gone full Star Trek details, saying in Star Trek it's Chekhov spelt with a CHE at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I was asking. It's like, I don't think that's how it is.
Oh, that's annoying when you miss. See, Phillips just said kill the Conda. He just killed him. So, yeah, consider vengeance taking place.
Oh, I've got to engineer some cooler guns.
Don't feel bad. My weapon loadout on this thing is completely unengineered.
Actually, me too. So, oh, there we go. Now, one thing I am disappointed about, and this is something that often comes up in conversation, is the damage models and how only the Anaconda has one.
Actually, you know why that is? I just saw this recently. It's because Frontier, when they were originally putting this together, could only afford to put the time in for the one.
Yeah.
God, where did I see that? That was just recently, too.
That was possibly... That might have been something that me and Greatest were talking about post-Expo.
Yeah. Man.
Oh yeah, this third lance.
Yeah, right here.
But yeah, they said it's very, very time intensive for them to do it, because essentially they have to design a ship 3 or 4 times over.
I mean, it makes sense unless you... there are some other games that have done damage models before, and they build it specifically so where the models can be modified on the fly in some weird way.
Like
I never
Carmageddon.
quite understood. Yeah.
Carmageddon style damage models on ships. That is something that I would love to see.
That game is way too much fun for its own good.
See, I know if you can't say they've done it in Star Citizen because they've worked on different things so far, and I'm not going to turn this into a Star Citizen versus Elite Dangerous conversation.
Because we all know who's going to win that.
Well,
at least for now.
At least at the moment, one's playable. One, in my current opinion, is not. Elite Dangerous,
space
sort your
legs.
stuff out. Yeah.
Go to Robert's Burger Bar, but it's never open.
Well, yeah, that sounds about right. But I am quite looking forward to the Star Citizen 3.0 update, because I think it might be interesting. Have some content to it, because at the moment there is very little to do in Star Citizen in its current state, which is the problem. There's no content, particularly, unless you want to go and repair a satellite and fight some pirates over and over again. But Kurikenchi, I 100% will be doing another Star Citizen stream when 3.0 launches, because I think people should, well, get to see it, really. Make a decision for themselves, as opposed to reading all of the articles by essentially biased journalists.
Yeah, people have sort of fallen very much into camps, and they're not going to move.
See, that's kind of how I feel about it too. You know, 'cause I bought the $45 backing thing for Star Citizen like 2 or 3 years ago. And in that time, I've only started it up twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second time wasn't even that long ago. It was just, like 4 or 5 months ago. And it still runs like crap.
I mean, for me, from what I played, is that I don't feel like there's any, I guess, palpable progression at this point. But that could be because I don't understand the game, And I feel like until you're quite deep in a game like Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen, only then do you actually get to understand it, and you understand how it works and the game mechanics.
Yeah, that could be the case for Star Citizen too, but I just don't know.
I mean, the most fun I had was when I managed to jump in someone else's ship and take it for a spin, and it was so much better than the ship that I had. That was like
you stole that guy's ship. That was the funniest thing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was great.
I'm a space pirate now.
Yay!
But that is great.
Until he
That's,
logs out. Yeah.
It's just he happened to log out whilst I was in his ship. Perfect. So I took that for a spin, and it was much nicer to use than the other ship, and then I blew it up, which is classic. Oh, come on. Ugh. Yeah, I need to fly a courier more often. I think that would be
They're nippy little ships.
Yeah, they look like they could be fun to fly. I mean, having only flown it and landed it, so that's all I've done is land it with flight assist off. So,
What?
Yeah.
Really? That's
Yeah.
all you've done with a courier?
Yeah. Bought it, turned its shields off, landed it with flight assist off, sold it again. I've done that with a lot of ships.
You poor soul.
I did it with the Adder. Never flown an Adder before until that point. Yeah, not my best move, I think. But there you go.
We need to get you in with the courier. It's a fun little ship.
Hey, I did quite like the cockpit and the way it looks and stuff. It looks very, I guess, cockpit-like.
Oh yeah, it feels like a jet fighter. That it is kind of drifty though. That's the only downside.
I feel like all Imperial ships are.
Nah, the Imperial Eagle's not. The
Oh, that's
cutter is
true.
though.
Yeah. More drift than Tokyo.
Yep.
Not a dated reference at all.
Still a good reference. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, who's... Hey, now we have things to shoot.
Yeah, I'm fighting a fighting the FTL. it's not going well. It's not going badly. See, people are talking about how you could put a bounty on people's heads in Star Citizen, and someone went 3 billion credit bounty on Plater. He stole a constellation. Well, it's not. Well, Aquila, not Aquila, but yeah. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. If you could steal ships in Elite Dangerous, that would be fun.
Yeah. You know, I really do kind of wish that we did have a bounty, like a player bounty system in here, though. That would be interesting.
Space Loach. I've got.
But yeah,
I've
see,
got
unless
I've got a Space Loach.
unless the money actually came from a player's account, people would abuse it, and they just get bounties on themselves so that their mates could get the money for shooting them, you know. But if it actually came out of someone's pocket, then yeah, then it would work.
Yeah, I mean, I would be. I'd be up for that.
It would be a way of transferring money, actually, if you wanted to.
I mean, it's better than doing the current. Oh, I'll transfer you a bunch of Imperial slaves and you can go sell them.
Yeah, get a bounty on my head and you get it for killing me. It would be easier.
Yeah. Simon Mills, yes, I can name that film. That is Starship Troopers. The quote being, "Come on, you apes, do you want to live forever?"
Why do I keep getting random missions offered all the time now? Do you guys have that too?
Yeah.
Occasionally.
I've had like, I think this is the 4th or 5th one, just in the last like hour.
I mean, I do think that Frontier do have an advantage, is that there are lots of worlds out there online that they can look at and be like, do we want it to be like that? What problems do they have? How can we avoid those pitfalls?
Yeah. Well, that's obviously what they're doing at the moment, because otherwise, why the hell would they have come up with the bizarre notion of tying crimes to ships, GTA?
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. Like, literally
None at all.
sense.
I mean, like I said in a post on the forum, it would in the Wild West, because you could have some guy wearing a mask and dressed to put in black or something, and they go, he was riding a horse that had a brown patch on one leg, and you go, ah, right, and the marshals go looking for that, and they know that horse. But this is 3303. You can't do that in 3303.
Yeah.
I like this guy's name. Baja the Foolish.
Well, yeah. he named his ship the Star Beast. Not my idea of a great name for a ship. Then again,
Sidewinder called Lil Bully. That's okay. Doesn't come any smaller than that.
I mean, to be fair, I'm in a ship called Dizzy Hornet, so...
Oh, come back here. There we go.
And I've actually named one of my anacondas Jeff.
Whoa! Jeff.
Jeff, yeah. People complained that I hadn't named it, so I just called it Jeff.
Jeff the Anaconda?
Yeah.
I mean, mine's just Big Rhonda. So. What?
No, I like Little Bully. That's the best one so far.
I like a Big Rhonda.
Oh, Robert Wilkins. That is Lil Bully.
Yeah.
Is it?
Great name.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
He says he's
Where
wanted,
is he?
so he's like, blow him up. Consider it
Where?
done. How wanted are you? 1,200 credits. It's almost not worth pulling the trigger. But
Sure it is.
This Python, on the other hand, called Gravity Wave.
There we go. Yeah, look at us. My Type 6 is called Better Than Ryanair. So Vagabond, I'm guessing that you I'm guessing you use it for passenger missions then.
Ryan has what?
Ryanair, you know,
Ryanair.
Ryanair, the low-cost budget airline.
That must be unique to you guys.
Oh, it must be European.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
an
sure.
Irish company. It is.
There is no Ryanair here. Not in the States, anyway. We have like Delta, Southwest Airlines, all kinds of other nonsense.
American Eagle, which is basically just American Airlines. Jagged Fight. The ship naming, right? That's something that gets me. Is some of them are so bad, like really bad.
Like Compass.
Yeah, actually, why is right? My ship, my exploration ship that's gold, called the Golden Compass. They feel the need to star out the last 3 letters.
I know, it's crazy. You can't do that. I mean, so does that mean if you have a ship that's called Green Grass, it's actually called Green Gr?
Yeah, Green Grass.
With a bunch of asterisks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Scott 97. I did very much enjoy Laser Cops from Ghost Giraffe. The stuff they do is absolutely fantastic.
That was a class episode. That one.
Yeah. Just some of the flying in it was exquisite. Especially the that kind of flying directly down, turning. It just was in the vanity cam. I was really impressed with it.
I was wondering how many takes the Cobra hiding behind the cargo crates took. That's the one that for me would take, because you have to have the camera angle, you have to have 3 people working together.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
How do they find the time for all of this?
Well, that's it. They don't. Mars is chronically busy all the time. So this is the first one they've put out for ages. But when you can see it's a labour of love, the amount of work they put in that.
No, 100%. And when we had Mars and Sparks on, they were saying how Mars was saying basically his job is video editing. I think he said that he works in film production or video production, and he's like, oh, you know, I don't.
Not
really
a huge shocker.
No, hardly is it? And he's saying that he didn't want to do anything related to that. He just wanted to play the game. And then he was like, I need to make videos with this. It was just that moment he suddenly realised, like, I need to do something.
Well, Josh and Shabuka surprised me recently when I got the whole VR thing. The first thing I did in VR was every program I fired up, I thought, can I use this? Can I use this for footage? It doesn't matter what it was. Steam VR. Because in the last episode that I did, I've got a scene where it's like Gwydion's penthouse in a tourist station, and that's Steam VR, Steam Lobby. And the first thing I thought, I loaded it up. Oh, I'm going to use this. And those two are saying, "Oh, I wouldn't have thought of that." And I say, "Hey, slackers, come on, what's the matter with you?" The first thing you do, every VR game. Can I use this?
Until we get space legs, it'll have to do.
Yeah. What have I've used? Oh, I don't know. Half a dozen different games now. Subbing in for no space legs.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Like, to do it, because until we have it, and also, have we even actually had space legs confirmed that it's going to happen? Like, have Frontier actually even said it's definitely going to happen?
It was kind of said in the Kickstarter, but every time they mention it now, it's a case of, yeah, we'd love to see that happen. But they never actually say, yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, that was the thing. I've never. They said they want to do it. That's what Star-Lord in chat says. But I've never really heard them say at any point that it was coming, or they would do it, or until actually the expo, when it was Adam Wood said, "We would love to do it, but the most important thing for us is that we do it right." So
Yeah.
we're going to take our time, and when we do it. That'll be it, and it will be right, because they don't want to make any mistakes. So I was like, okay, so not next year then? No.
Yeah.
You're probably not.
I can't go on record saying that's a quote. And they're like, no, not really. That's not all.
I think they've been saying the same thing about atmospheric landings too. Is that it's on the roadmap, they're going to do it, but no ETAs, no guarantees.
Yeah.
As they like to say.
I will say that
This is like Fer-de-Lance after Fer-de-Lance. This is like 3 or 4 of them in a row.
Yep. I will say that having spoken to old Sandro after he's had a couple of beverages, you do find out some interesting bits of information. All that he's not supposed to have told you.
Yeah.
And has wanted everything everywhere.
I love this. All of the shooty things.
Pew pew.
You see, I'm still disappointed that I didn't get to go. It was too far away for me to be able to make it.
Oh, next year, get saving now.
Yeah. I sent an email to Bo asking if they're going to be at PAX South, and she said no.
Aww.
Oh, that
Makes me sad.
Sad, yeah.
Because I've been trying to get to one of these things that they actually go to for ages, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a Q1 release, January, maybe they'll actually go. Email, ask, they say no. Oh, dreams dashed again.
Feels
bad, man. Boiled again.
Yeah. Oh wow, another FDL. Nice.
They were going to go until they found out that you were going.
I know, and then they're like, oh, it's that guy.
No, we had to cancel.
It's that way. You know Plato? No. Not after the expo. Sorry. Yeah, I would love to. I would love for the guys at Frontier to maybe mention they're having another expo, because
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Then I'd have an excuse to start saving for it.
I mean, they sold all of the tickets. It was a sellout. The venue itself was quite small, which was a bit of a shame. I think they probably could have filled a slightly bigger venue. But that said, I think at a bigger venue with what they had on offer, it would have looked and felt very empty.
How many tickets did they actually have, though? I didn't get a chance to look.
So it was just over 1,000 standard tickets and standard and founders tickets, and then it was about 300 press and VIPs.
So a pretty fair amount then.
Yeah, I mean the venue was quite small. Like I said, Turjan, everyone was asking about you.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, he has a busy life. It's kind of, he has a lot on. Someone else has to shoot the Sidewinder though, because I can't hit it with these plasmas at the moment. I'm having issues.
I'm trying. Fixed pulses and Sidewinders. This is not the easiest thing to do. It's not impossible, it's just not easy. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What is there anything that happened at the expo that hasn't been talked about recently? Because I think everything from that got beat to death.
The Type 10. Where is it?
Wow.
Like literally, we've got what have we got? Like 7 weeks to go until it has to turn up. In the next 7 weeks, we have to see the Type 10 because otherwise we start going into the Beyond series of releases. So, where is it?
I feel like it's something that Aegis is going to release in conjunction with Lakon.
Oh, can we just say the AX Taipan? Really? If they were going to reuse the word Aegis at any point in the game, everyone was going to know it was going to be confusing. Like the existing Aegis Taipan, not to be confused with the new AX Taipan.
I have been wondering about it. What does that mean? Does it mean that there's another model of Taipan that we don't have access to?
No, it's the Taipan that's called the Aegis. So there is one called the Aegis, but that's its weapon loadout. So you've got the Aegis Taipan or the Aegis series of fighters, and they're ones that I think they could be the pulse ones, the pulse laser ones. But yeah, and then you've got the actual AX Taipan, which is going to have the Aegis, the AX multi-cannons on, which is a bit like, not strictly convinced.
Well, we already have AX multi-shreds, so we're not going to get AX enforcers.
That would be quite good though, wouldn't it? But that said, the AX multi-cannons on paper are better fixed anyway than standard multi-cannons for the size. Having looked at it, they've got higher DPS. Their armor penetration actually isn't as high, but they do more DPS. So I found that interesting. Like quite a lot more DPS at that. Yeah, description said it would hit a little harder, but will it be tougher? Well, we'll have to wait until Monday. It's not like we have to wait long, is it?
Yeah, that's what, a whole whopping 2 days from now? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait that long.
Well,
Like a kid on Christmas Eve. I can't wait that long. I want it now. It's like, no.
spoiled kid.
Well, I think you're only spoiled if your parents give in. If not, you're just a demanding, entitled child. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Can't imagine a Taipan would last long against a swarm. Shreds, correct, it won't. Nothing lasts long against the swarm at all. Not until we have caustic resistances, which that's a thing as well. That's obviously been hinted at in the right-hand panel. Oh, what is it? What is this dropship doing?
Oh no, it's just spinning around in circles. And it's taking absolutely no damage.
Does he think he's a miner?
It's bugged.
What?
It's a bugged ship. That's
It's very confused.
See, I've made contact with it and actually shot it, and still I'm not getting. It's not turning red. That's weird. Nah, that's busted.
It's very confused. Its shields are regenning on my screen. Like, slowly, but it's still regenning.
I am thinking that on my stream on Monday, I'm probably going to go Thargoid hunting with a new Taipan. It seems logical.
Well, you have to showcase it.
Yep,
Give it a road test.
Yeah, I have to show it being blown up and destroyed. 100%. Yep.
A lot. What are you guys doing?
Federal agents, people in purple, pro-rock is in purple. I'm seeing a lot of purple, actually. What's going on here?
I don't know. And then this guy in the Faz was shooting the other guy.
Oh.
I'm very confused. What are you guys doing?
I think we're getting some really interesting laggy things happen.
Weirdness, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is worth remembering actually with the series of updates that are coming out with the Return, is that the Return hasn't been out for very long, and they have said it's going to be iterative content coming out as part of the narrative. Although I would like a little bit more narrative than just Galnet posts.
Yeah, but then the question comes of like, how do you do that for the mass amount of players that Elite has?
You just push your messages through on their via the messages system. So you push things out, or you have special missions given to them, like when you go to a Obsidian Orbital, and you get given the Palin missions to go and collect whatever. You know, you push missions that way. I think that'd be my suggestion. Yeah, tip-offs. Like
Tip-offs. Yeah, you could do it that way too.
which is essentially just a reskin of all the same stuff.
What they should do is they should just give us the missions to put in all of our story videos, you see. And then we can show people missions in story videos, and they can get the gist of what's going on there. That's how you do it.
Yeah. We'll create.
Then they
I
don't have to
support
put
this.
the story in themselves, you know.
I can support this.
We'll spin the story around them.
I could support this.
I don't know if have you guys actually seen the post from Drew Wagar about what he would do?
Oh yes, that was brilliant. That was a storyteller. See, that's the point. Storyteller telling you how to tell stories.
Yeah, funny that, right?
Yeah.
I remember the post, I just don't remember what it said.
I will grab it actually. I will read out what he said, because someone actually sent me the link. So, this is what he said. So Drew said, "I would have done Thargoids rather differently," and someone went, "Well, how would you have done it?" He said lots of things. A. Establish actual people in Aegis and develop their character before introducing the organisation. Give folks a reason to love/hate the organisation. Have a daily/weekly digest of Gallant articles ready to go prior to the launch of 2.4. Make the narrative sing and proceed at pace. Have Frontier staff or trusted community members flying Thargoid ships incognito to cause mayhem in specific places alongside the POI points. The WTF moments when people see Thargoids with agency rather than AI. That would be pretty awesome. Have Frontier staff or trusted community members playing Aegis staff. Have the possibility that these folks are mortal and roll with consequences. Basically RPG with an overall DM on a weekly basis. And that's just the top of my head. Would need time to resource and plan, but doable. That was his idea, which I think is pretty up there.
Look who's here, Tom Cook.
Oh, actually, in game?
Yeah.
Ah, good lad. That was,
Has he got the speakers on his ship turned on so he can go around blasting sound out of it?
But yeah, so definitely a couple of options there from Drew, and yeah, it's none of them would involve a particularly large amount of work apart from probably piloting a Thargoid ship, but that would be an incredible offer, wouldn't it? Like hey, you can pilot a Thargoid ship and go and basically destroy anything you like. Go mad.
Are you kidding? I'd be like a fat kid in a candy shop. You wouldn't be able to get me away from that.
Yeah, I would be like wait, what is this week's CG? Cool, open play, let's do this. And just hunt people down. I would rip people to pieces, because you know what, it would be hilarious. People wouldn't know what to do. They would not know what to do, and that would be...
It'd be the greatest thing ever.
See, there you go. Look, I've just come back to the station here, because my graphics are going a bit jittery in VR. And an NPC scan says, your ship's ID has been logged. Any active hostilities will result in criminal charges being brought against you. Now, considering that, it's really your commander that's been logged, this is the whole point with this crime punishment thing, isn't it? Even the NPC is saying something like that.
Yeah, that's...
Because, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't driving. It was the wife. I wasn't driving, mate.
Yeah.
She did it. She did the crime. It's your license, sir.
Yeah, it would be like that.
Yeah.
That is the problem with the whole idea of attaching it to a ship rather than a person. And like I said before, it's like, just because you robbed a bank and your getaway car isn't your normal car doesn't mean you don't get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might take them a bit longer to find you, but they're still going to find you eventually.
Yeah.
Well, with today's terribly low-tech world, we have things called cameras.
Whoa. What's that?
They can actually see who's driving a car. So when you go, no, I wasn't in that car, what done that, officer? They say, we saw you on the traffic cameras. And that's today. We're talking about 3303 here.
There is an awful lot of that, like, where's all the video? Where's all the in-game video? Like, we've got frozen pictures, we've got, you get given a mission, there's no real genuine interaction. You're interacting with walls of text, that's a very different issue, and that is very much a quality of life thing versus a could we please have more things to work with. 2.8 million credits, nice.
Anariah says, wait, who's the flippant ships registered to? Do we not actually own our ships?
Well, yes, you see,
Christ.
Are they all actually registered to the Pilots Federation? In which case, they'd know, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would. They'd be like, oh, this ship appears to have fired upon this person.
So why not have a perverse hybrid system where, as far as all the NPCs are concerned, the crime's tied to the ship, but as far as the Pilots Federations are concerned, they know who it is. So they'll send the horsemen of the Pilots Federation after you. Because they know. You can't hide from us, sir.
I do feel like, especially with the whole Pilots Federation thing, it would be like, they're like the arseholes of the galaxy. So that they come in and it's like yeah, I mean, so you're telling me these guys get all the best missions? You trust someone who is a ruthless murderer to take a group of aid workers from one system to another, and you're going to pay him how many millions of credits?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's a long way though, isn't it? I went,
why are you paying him? Well, he has the name, he has Commander in front of his name, therefore he must be legit. That's it. That's what it comes down to.
But hang on, he's got a death sentence on 12 systems. Yes, that's right, 12 systems, and on 12 systems. And it's like, wait, and you're still trusting him to go and take these aid workers? Yeah. Okay, right. What about these protesters who are sitting next to the aid workers? Yeah, we'll take them too.
Yeah. See, that's the power of the Pilots Federation, isn't it?
And then it's like they come in and they murder people, and it's like, oh great, And the police rock up and they're like, oh, we've got another one of these guys again. Another Pilots Federation person. Let's shoot them. Well, can you get rid of the dear, the dear Mrs. So and So, dear Mrs. Federal Security Officer. We're sorry to inform you that your husband has been killed in the line of duty. Great, fantastic.
Yeah. But you see, there's the other difference. They can kill us as often as they like. It doesn't matter because we have transwarp escape pods. They don't.
Is that what you're calling it? Is it?
Yeah, they have to float around in space and wait for us to pick them up. On us. We just warp straight back because, we're not really here. Telepresence. Yeah. All telepresence.
We're invisible. There's nothing here.
We all live on Founder's World in Shinrata Desra. And we're just telepresencing out. We're in little cubicles. Matrix. That's us.
Wait, so then how does the system permit for Shinrata work?
Well, for people that haven't got one. Well, does it matter? I mean, have we ever actually landed on the planet? You've been there all the time.
Oxy, don't point holes in the logic. Shut up.
You've been there all the time. Just your telepresence guy couldn't come back to the system.
But what they're doing is they're just limiting your ability, your destructive ability within system until you're trusted enough. That's what it is.
That's it. Yeah.
Another little quick reminder for everyone who's watching, please do tap the like button if you'd be so kind. We're kind of coming in towards the final 10 minutes, final 7 minutes of the stream, and obviously, as we said before, it does help us out as streamers. It doesn't actually cost you anything. I don't know if you guys knew that. If you click the like button, it's totally free. But it does mean that I own your homes. I didn't say that. That is not what happens, but it could do.
It's a little side deal with YouTube.
Yeah. Me and YouTube, we literally,
like the Pilots Federation of YouTube. Gives you all the best deals.
Yeah, Tubers Federation.
It's the best. It's fantastic deals.
No one does deals better than YouTube.
That's okay, because if you commit crimes on YouTube, it's tied to your computer and not you, so they'll never get you.
Yeah.
You just go to the other computer in the other room.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. Oh no, here you go. Right. Okay. So, it's tied to your ship, but the same thing that's tied to your ship is your telepresence ID. So therefore it's also tied to you. So it's tied to your ship and to you, and I've tried too hard to make that connection, and it's just still tied to you, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no way around it. No matter what you do, it's tied to you, and you can't pretend it's tied to the ship, Frontier. You can't do it.
I mean, you can pretend, but no one's buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone has a telepresence proxy. Well done, Vance. Well done. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I tried a bit of an experiment with Ship Launch Fighter yesterday, and I'm not going to talk about how it went particularly, but it went interestingly. But how come you can only transmit 30 kilometers in a Ship Launch Fighter, but if I want a telepresence into someone else's ship and they're in Beagle Point and I'm sat there in Seoul, that's perfectly okay?
Well, you see, the reason for that is because it's Pilots Federation technology that's tied into the chairs.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not 100% sold on that one, Turjan.
Me either.
I feel like it's a lot of words that don't match up.
It's all smoke and mirrors from the Pilots Federation. Yeah.
Someone's also asked the question of what happens if you sell your ship and your bounty is linked to your ship.
Well, they'll probably pay you about a tenner for it to start with. They're not.
Oh, it looks like it's some
a bit dodgy, that, mate. No, I mean, while that is actually an attractive mechanic from the point of view of, it's a bit dodgy, mate, can't give you full price on that, not with them crimes on it. It doesn't really hold any water as a logic, but that is the only appeal that I can see that system would have. And they say that you're going to have like limited access to station services and things like that. But I mean, so if you happen to have another ship parked at that station, you just get out and get into the other one, and the guy that was talking to you 5 minutes ago says, "Oh, that's all right, sir. I can polish your windows now. I couldn't do it before because you had a bounty on that ship, sir."
Yeah. It's like, oh, you look awfully familiar, but don't worry about it. I think it's fine. Yeah.
No, that was me. That's the point. I was going to say it's my twin brother, but no, it was me because it's the ship. You see, it's the ship has the crime, not me. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, the ship shot people.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was just there.
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, no one's believing that.
Yeah, but apparently they all are. Of course, sir. I believe you entirely, sir. They're all brainwashed.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be if they were Pilots Federation people.
That's it, you see? That's what it comes down to.
The only people with real freedom are members of the Pilots Federation.
Yeah. Too much freedom. That's why they'd have to chase after themselves.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm like, everyone's
who
talking
watches
about
the watchers, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have the four horsemen of the Pilots Federation. However you look at it, they've got to be there.
No, I actually like the idea that there needs to be a final, like, all-encompassing threat where you're like, no, now you were outmatched. No matter what ship you were in, you were done. I mean, I don't know, maybe just have a Thargoid ship turn up.
Well, yeah, there's nothing to stop there. Yeah. Didn't you know Pilots Federation had Thargoid ships? No. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
We finally captured one, and now we're going to use it against our own people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to make it look like we're actually attacking our own people to redress the balance, because then people would lose faith in our ability to be the Pilots Federation. So we'll just make it look like the Thargoids did it. That would work.
Yeah, it definitely would.
plausible.
I mean, there's something in there. Yeah, people have been calling the Type 10. Actually, something I wanted to mention from in chat before when we were talking about the Type 10. Someone said that it would be Guardian hybrid technology, and based on kind of the images that we saw at the expo, I think that is very possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of that shiny blue in there.
Yeah, and triangles.
And triangles, lots of they love their triangles, don't they?
They do, they do.
Yeah, so what Silent Mill's saying in chat there, if I change the colour name and the ID number. Yeah, I mean, if you go the whole hog down the GTA road, why can't you just change your paint job and ship name, and they go, oh, that's alright, it's a brand new ship, didn't see it. You know, it's just as logical, isn't it?
Is that blood all over your hands? No.
No.
No. What are you talking about? That's
Telepresence hands, mate. No.
That's paint.
Not my hands.
That's paint
Not
job.
my hands.
No,
Not real.
It's paint job. No, it's fine. But yeah, that's the thing. I just feel like, yeah, I don't see it working. For everyone that says that it would work, it just makes no sense. That's my.
It doesn't
opinion.
make much sense to me either.
Well, yeah, you get the impression that some people will just, it doesn't matter what's suggested, some people will go for it because it's different from what they've got now.
Yeah.
And the moment it leaves Frontier's mouth, they'll go, yeah, that's a good idea. Some people are just like that. They just like something new and they never think through what it might actually be. But I'm a dreadful cynic, and I just pick at these things.
Yeah, it's very easy. I personally always try and come up with an alternative suggestion rather than just saying something is bad or I don't like it.
I'm the champion of justifying things. As I say, like half of Turjan's Travels video series is justifying things that we kept finding out on the Distant Worlds expedition. You know, what's this nav beacon doing here? Ah, well, it was a radio sidewinder. They repurposed them all to retransmit their station signals, you see. You know? Perfect sense, with justification. But when it comes to something like this, even I am having trouble with my tangential mind justifying how you could have crimes linked to a ship and not the person. It can't work in the law or in the technology. It just doesn't work.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, at a push, you could probably justify certain parts of it. That, you know, you could potentially, I don't know, reduce your bounty, maybe get rid of your fines by changing something with your ship, possibly. But bounties, on the other hand, that's a person. Like, I mean, guilty pleasure type. Dog the bounty hunter, right? He turns up and he's talking to people. He ain't talking to their cars outside, is he? He's not asking Babs to go and like, quickly go grab the door of that car. Why? It's
yeah, exactly.
Who knows how things are going to work out? Like, genuinely, like what?
I mean, I would actually endorse a pirate station that had a spray and pray, paint and spray, whatever the hell they called it in GTA, where you could go in and sort of like have the transponders in your ship washed while they're putting new paint on, that kind of thing. That would be okay, but it would still only be a temporary measure because you're the criminal, so it would delay them scanning you in a freshly painted ship. But if they did a deep scan of you, they'd see it was you. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. That would work.
Like a proper kill warrant scanner type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So superficially, your ship would... It's like the opposite of what they want. You know? That's having things completely tied to the commander, and you can change your ship and dodge them for a bit, putting a bit of a buffer between you and their scanners in a painted ship.
See, I think that makes sense. It's a bit like having dormant bounties at the moment. There's some very existing mechanics they could potentially rework, I guess.
But how they're proposing it, it's just no, it can't work.
There you go. Well, I'm glad we all seem to agree on some things, which is always nice rather than having a blazing row with a guest on a stream when you're like, no, I don't agree with you.
Like the name of player factions and things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would be.
Yeah.
That's one for another time, I think. Well, damn it! Why would you? So Turjan's obviously the kind of guy that if he's in an argument, at the very end he says, "Yeah, and I still don't agree with that." Like just at the very end, when you think you've finally gotten to that point where you can stop, maybe just get a drink or something, you're like. And before I go, I'm just going to drop this little hand grenade of, enjoy that one, guys. So, thanks, bud.
You're welcome. Now you know why you have me on the stream.
Yeah. This is why no face cam. Because you guys can't just see me like just the eye twitch that's going mad. But I think it says Mummy and Daddy are fighting again. It's like, that's Turjan's the kid. He then says, well, Mummy said this.
Yay, no! 2 Christmases.
Yeah. But that's the level we're talking about here. Yeah. We're talking about have a couple of beers and everything will be right.
It'll be fine.
It's fine.
It'll be fine. We'll have something to work for. A purpose.
Yeah, Tom's got a good point in chat there. He says maybe it's because we're so small in the cockpits that the cops can't actually see who's driving.
Yeah, it could be that. And sometimes
we are really, really very small in these big ships.
Yeah, the ships are big. Like they are.
Even the Sidewinder,
yeah, it's big. I mean, like and you say that, you kind of don't get the scale of how big a Vulture is.
Well, that was the VR thing. We put the headset on for the first time. This hangar's the size of a hangar.
Who would have thought, huh?
That was literally my first words.
Yeah, even the Sidewinder. I mean, even the Sidewinder is actually surprisingly large.
You see the SRV parked there in VR on the main screen, and you think, "Oh, it's huge! The SRV's huge."
I think the Sidewinder is roughly the size of. Oh, there was a passenger jet that it's about the same size of. I just can't remember which one.
Yeah, it's just
737, isn't it? I feel like.
Yeah. Sidewinder, yeah.
Sidewinder. Oh no, not Sidewinder. Sorry, I don't think which one was Sidewinder. Yes. But certainly they are a lot bigger than you'd think, especially when people do those scale videos. There's a YouTuber out there who does scale videos for Elite Dangerous ships, and it's just like, oh, That's as big as a football field, kind of.
Yeah, the cockpit of the Vulture there is the size of someone's living room. When you see it like that.
Yeah, it really kind of is. It's about the same size as my living room, that's for sure. But there you go. But I think we had a cool time for the stream today. I think we're at that kind of point, I would say. And so Turjan would say thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, despite
great fun to be here.
Fights between us. I'm just dropping into...
Hey, I didn't cause any fights.
Anyway, so I'm just dropping into chat a link to Turjan's YouTube channel. So guys, please do go over and subscribe to him if you haven't already. And if you haven't, what are you doing with your lives? Seriously. Genuinely entertaining, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, we're free entertainment here, all of us on YouTube.
Yeah,
All the content creators, all the YouTube stories of Elite, we're all out there, all free. Great, no Netflix, just watch us.
Yeah, Tom, I haven't actually painted my living room yet. Don't ask questions like that. So it's a sore point between me and Mrs. Plater because I'm really lazy. So I'm going to say once again.
Well, you can't right now because the paint would be radioactive if you did.
Well,
so
that sounds convincing.
there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's convincing.
Yeah,
Convince me.
Why not?
convincing enough.
Why not? I think by now everyone knows is subscribed to Proxim. I'm seeing a lot of names in there who I typically see in Discord and on his channel. But obviously, if you haven't already, you need to go and subscribe to him too. If you want to bung your link in there, Oxy, please do, because I didn't put it in the description. There's an awful lot of ships floating around behind me on stream. That's really kind of creepy. Like, hello.
Yeah. So, are you filming something, mate? Are you filming? What's going on? They're all looking at the camera. Yeah. What's going on there? You filming?
The guy suddenly grabs hold of the microphone and he's like, no, don't say the right in the... No. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, so as usual, I want to say thank you very much for watching, guys. And we will hopefully not leave it so long for another Zencast. And we will see you guys soon.
See you guys. Take it easy.
Bye.